Harper Paperbacks and HarperAudio present The French Winemaker's Daughter, a novel by Loretta Ellsworth, performed by Carolyn Hewitt. To my sister Monica, whose beautiful poetry unveils a sensitive soul. Chapter 1. The Armoire. Martine, June 1942. Burgundy region, near Albertine, France. Martine peeked around a tall vine at her papa when she heard her name being called. A gentle breeze fluttered her dress and tickled her bare feet as her knees sunk into the loamy soil. She had been pretending to make wine, crushing a few green grapes between her fingers in an old bowl and adding her spit, then twirling it with a stick until it was a liquid consistency. She'd been so focused on her task that she'd forgotten about the time. "Martine!" Papa cupped his hands around his mouth. The little girl was hesitant to show herself. She had sneaked away from her schoolwork again, and she wasn't supposed to be playing alone in the vineyard. Papa called again. He sounded irritated, frantic even. Martine finally stood up from between the rows of vines and brushed the dirt from the back of her dress before she ran to him. "Je suis désolée, papa," she began, worried that she had annoyed him and that he would be furious. But instead, he grabbed her and hugged her tightly. "Are you angry?" she asked. He often scolded her for disobeying, although he rarely punished her. Making her attend school was punishment enough. Madame Reza was horrible. The letters did not make meanings she could figure out. And she'd heard Madame Reza tell Papa the same. "Her mother, Elizabeth, died shortly after she was born, no?" she'd heard Madame Reza tell Papa. "Perhaps deficiencies resulted from the stress of her birth." Papa had defended her. "Martine can tell the difference in grape skins that even adult men cannot taste. When it is prone to fungus, and when it is peak ripeness. She can select the best grapes and tell just how much water the plants need. She notices the invisible, the air and light among the vines, and she can nurture a sickly plant back to health when others give it up as a lost cause. No one who is stupid could do such things." "These are not things taught in a classroom," Madame had replied. "But they are important things," Papa had said. Every inch of the vineyard was mapped upon her heart. The low stone wall that enclosed their property from the dirt road, the pale stone house they lived in, and behind it the dark cellar where Papa made the wine. And beyond that, a barn that held their horse Cédric, who pulled the carts to and from the rows of vines that dipped over sloping hills. Bordering the vineyard was a small forest of oak and beech trees. This was her entire world, and she loved it here. But Martine could not read, and soon she would turn 8. Madame Reza tapped the back of her hands with a long stick each time she made a mistake, calling her lazy. One day Martine sneaked inside after lessons and took the stick, which she broke in two and threw in a ditch. Madame Reza accused her of stealing her stick, but she couldn't prove it. Even so, she hated Martine even more after that, and called her an imbecile. Now, Martine hugged Papa, feeling bad for disobeying him once again. "I'm sorry," she repeated. "I love you, Martine." Papa's voice was thick and hoarse. This was different than Papa's usual hugs. It was one that hinted at sadness, tight and clutching, as if he was afraid to let go. "What's wrong, Papa?" He looked around as if she'd been followed, then ushered her into the house. "We have little time," he said as he opened the armoire in her bedroom. "You must get inside and stay hidden." Martine was small for her age, and she fit easily inside the white armoire decorated with pink swirls that Papa
Sample complete. Ready to continue?